Hi, guys, and welcome to another episode of the DDC Podcast. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you guys how and why our fitness journey it's a marathon and not a sprint. And I want to share some tips with you guys, some strategies to help you overcome that feeling of guilt and help you keep going so we can continue making this a lifestyle and we make sure not to stop when things don't go as planned. Something I want you to think about is when was the last time you felt guilty for skipping a workout or for eating something quote unquote off track? I want you to think about that. I want to give you a few seconds and I really want you to think about that last time you felt guilty. Maybe it was this morning. Maybe it was just a few hours ago. Maybe it was over the weekend. Maybe it was 2 weeks ago. Just think about that time, okay, that you feel guilty for not doing that thing or for doing that thing, not eating more. How did that guilt help you? Do you think that guilt helped you move forward with your fitness journey, with the actions and steps that you know you should be taking? Or do you think that hold you back? Do you think that feeling of, guilt that's running in your head hold you back and didn't help you take the actions that you should be taking to help you reach your goals? I can guarantee that the answer is that it held you back. It held you back because guilt, it's not a discipline. Guilt, it's literally self-sabotage. Every single time you feel guilty for skipping a workout or for eating that thing that you shouldn't be eating, let's say that ice cream or that cake or those chips that you shouldn't be eating, or every time you do something that doesn't help you with your fitness goals and you feel guilty, it's going to be easier for you to skip your workouts in the future. It's going to be easier for you to overeat after one bad meal, because if you have that one bad meal and then you feel guilty, you're going to go into this mindset of what the heck, I already ruined my diet. I might as well just eat whatever the whole day and I'll get back on track on Monday, the typical Monday. And it's going to be easier for you to talk yourself out of your progress and maybe talk yourself out of your fitness journey. Maybe you're going to tell yourself like, I'm just a failure. Like, what's the point of me continue doing this if I keep messing it up every single time? Sounds familiar? Maybe that's exactly how you're feeling right now. And the problem with guilt is that guilt doesn't make you stronger. Guilt doesn't make you healthier at all. And most importantly, guilt doesn't help you lose weight. The only thing that guilt does to you is that drains your energy. It drains your energy because you're constantly going to be thinking about that workout or workouts that you skipped, or you're constantly going to be thinking about that cake that you shouldn't be eating, or those meals that you had over the weekend, or, the alcohol that you had, whatever it is that you had. You're constantly going to be thinking about that. And that's going to drain your energy. And you're going to have that energy throughout the day, which is never going to help you or serve you with all the things that you're doing in life. And also, guilt or feeling guilty too often, it just makes you feel like a failure. It makes you feel that you can never do anything right. And it just literally makes you feel like shit if you constantly keep feeling guilty. Have you ever punished yourself with an extra workout to make up for the workout or workouts that you missed? Or maybe you restricted eating after a weekend of indulgences. I 100% did. When I started with my journey, the first roughly 8 years that I was lost and doing everything on my own, I remember that anytime I skipped a workout, I would do 2 workouts the next day to make up for that workout that I missed. And any time that I had a day or a weekend of, just eating whatever, I will literally starve myself the whole week, the week later, because I told myself, oh my gosh, you ate too much. This is not going to help you lose weight. So your punishment is going to be to just have 1 meal a day, 2 meals a day max, to make up for the calories that you overate over the weekend or the day before. But this doesn't help you long term. It didn't help me at all. And I can guarantee it's not going to help you long term. If your goal is to lose weight, to sustain that weight loss, and to make fitness part of your lifestyle, we need to change something. And the thing that we need to change is our mindset. And this is where the idea or the concept about the sprint mentality versus the marathon mindset comes about. And I'm going to tell you a little more about that. So if right now you're feeling guilty, I can guarantee that you have the spring mentality. Right now, you're probably obsessed with perfection. Like right now, you want to be perfect in this exact moment. Every single day, you want to be perfect. And the problem with perfection is that it's going to be much easier for you to be fragile. What does this mean? Let's say you skipped that workout, or you had that food that you quote unquote shouldn't be eating. You have that cake. It's going to be easier for you to let that one slip up turn into days, weeks, or months of doing nothing, of feeling guilty, of entering this guilt train. And this is just going to spiral backwards. And it's going to be the same cycle over and over and over and over again. Because you're going to have this all or nothing mindset, this perfectionist mindset. And you're going to feel that if you're not doing this 100%, then it's not worth it. And you have to start all over again, which we know long term doesn't really help us. So if right now you have this mentality, I want you to change or try to change your mindset a little bit. That's my main goal of this podcast. And I want you to learn more about the marathon mindset. The marathon mindset focuses mainly on consistent progress over time. So we're not worried about being perfect right now. We just want to be consistent over time because that's the only way that we can sustain the changes and make this a lifestyle. When we have this marathon mindset, we build the resilience muscle. And if we can work and build that muscle, we're going to have a really strong foundation. And that's something that I always tell you guys. Without the foundation, without those systems in place, everything else gets messy. It's like you building a house. If you don't have a strong foundation and then you build the house on top of the weak foundation, it's going to be much easier when an earthquake comes for that house to, break down and the house is going to be gone. But if you have a very solid and strong foundation, and then you build your house on top of that, if an earthquake happens, then nothing's going to happen to your house because you have the strong foundation. And when we have this marathon mindset, you're not going to let one sleep up, skipping that workout or having that meal turn into days of feeling guilty, feeling like shit, or doing whatever. You're going to use that as a learning opportunity. You're not going to feel guilty. You're simply going to reflect on what happened yesterday or over the weekend. You're going to make a few modifications and you're just going to move forward. Because with this marathon mindset, that's the only focus. We learn, we reflect, and we just keep moving forward. And I want to give you an example with this marathon mindset. Let's just pretend that you are a marathon runner and you're getting ready for your marathon coming up in September, for example. If you're having training sessions and maybe the training session that you had today, this morning, was not the best, I'm sure that you wouldn't put your marathon on hold or you wouldn't cancel the marathon just because of that one training session that you had today that didn't go as planned, right? You will just show up again tomorrow, try a little bit better, and every single day you will just keep training, keep giving your best. So on September, when the day comes, you can run that marathon, feel amazing, and feel proud of yourself. So why with your fitness, why do you let one bad day or days turn into weeks of you stopping or putting your fitness on hold? Why do you do that? And why do you do that to yourself? Because you're letting what little thing stop you from doing something amazing, which is your fitness journey. And the problem with this is that if we keep feeling guilty or if we keep letting guilt take over, The cost that we're going to pay because of this is that this is going to steal the joy that we have. It's going to make you scared to enjoy food because you're going to be with this mindset of healthy, unhealthy, good, bad. Anytime you have something that's quote unquote bad or unhealthy, you're going to feel guilty and you're going to feel like, oh my gosh, I wish I didn't have that. You're going to be feeling nervous about social events, especially on the weekends. If right now you're feeling very worried or stressed about your weekends, then this is probably why. You're feeling guilty that you might overeat or you might do something that's not perfect. And you're going to feel ashamed. It's going to be much easier for you to feel ashamed because you're going to feel like a failure. And you're going to feel that even though you try, nothing is happening. And maybe you're even going to accept that you will never lose weight. And this is just the way that you're meant to be. And we know that's not the case at all. It's just the guilt and your mindset playing games with you. And is that the life that you want to live? Like, do you really want to keep feeling guilty every single time you skip a workout? Maybe because you were actually sick and you were prioritizing your calorie. Do you want to feel guilty because of that? Do you want to keep feeling guilty every time you have ice cream or a cookie or a burger? Do you want to feel guilty every time? Do you want to feel guilty every time you go out on the weekends and enjoy a meal out with your friends or your partner? I don't know about you, but I told myself that I didn't want that for myself. I didn't want to keep feeling guilty. And I'm sure the answer for you, it's probably the same. I'm sure you don't want to be trapped in this guilt cycle that is just making you feel horrible. Just imagine, what will happen if instead of guilt, you choose progress over perfection. Just imagine. Imagine how your life will change. Imagine how much better you will feel. And imagine how much easier this journey will be for you. So I'm going to share a few strategies with you guys, 4 strategies to help you keep moving forward and to ensure that you don't let guilt control you, take over you, and you take the control. So here are the 4 empowering solutions that I have for you. Number 1, I want you to give yourself permission to be human. Because remember, we're humans. And being humans means that we are not perfect. We are imperfect. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. We just have to accept it and we have to be okay with that. And giving yourself permission to be human means giving yourself permission to eat the foods that you love and giving yourself permission to skip that training session if something happened or if you're feeling sick or, whatever reason, but just being okay with that. Second solution or second thing I want you to try is to reframe missed sessions. So if you skip the workout or you, again, eat something that quote unquote you shouldn't be eating, reframe that. You're not a failure, just life happened. Something unexpected happened, or that was the only choice of food that you had and you had to eat it. That's okay. Instead of you telling yourself, I'm a failure, this sucks, I will never be able to lose weight, reframe that with, it's okay, it's just one day. I try again tomorrow. Number 3 is stop overcompensating. And this is a mistake that I see many women making, especially with the workouts. If they skip a workout or workouts for whatever reason, they try to overcompensate with the next workout and they try to do 2 workouts in one day or even 3 workouts in one day. It doesn't want to help you because you're going to feel extremely tired. You're probably going to spend 20 hours at the gym. And the chances of you getting injured is going to be much higher because your body is going to be so tired. And any wrong movement that you make, you can get injured. And if that happens, you just have to rest a little bit longer. So let's stop overcompensating. Just let it go. And last but not least, celebrate imperfect wins. Remember, we're humans. We are imperfect. And so we want to celebrate that. Going back to my example of the marathon mindset and giving the example of the marathon runner, you're getting ready for your marathon. Let's just pretend that it's your marathon. September, you are on your marathon, you're running your marathon. When you're in that marathon, you don't quit when you hit the wall, right? You just keep pushing through, even if you feel a little bit tired, even if you feel a little bit fatigued, you keep pushing through. because you're not too concerned with the finish line. You're just focusing on the next step. You literally just take it one step at a time, because a marathon, it's going to take a very long time. So the best thing that you can do for yourself to help you ensure that you finish that marathon is just to focus on a step at a time, nothing else. It's exact same thing with your fitness. Persistency over perfection, baby steps and one step at a time, nothing else. So focus on winning the next small moment instead of trying to be perfect all the time. Fitness, it's not a sprint. Fitness doesn't mean a speed. Like, the faster you go, the better results you're going to get. We don't want that. We don't need that. You've tried that before. It works short term, but it doesn't work long term. Fitness is more about building resilience. Fitness is more about seeing this as a marathon, not a sprint. And when we build that resilience, it's going to be easier for us to ensure that we don't let one missed workout derail our progress. We're going to learn from those mistakes from that weekend that didn't go as well, because we're going to reflect, we learn, we move on, and it's going to be much easier for us to stay focused. So I really want you to stop sprinting, and I want you to start running your marathon. Ditch the guilt and move forward. Just one imperfect step at a time. So the key takeaways I want you to take from this podcast. Number one, and the main one, guilt or feeling guilty means self-sabotage. We don't want that. We don't need that if we want to make this a lifestyle and sustain the results that we want. Small steps forward always beat standing still. So if something doesn't go as planned, that's okay. We just keep taking that one step at a time. We might look back to reflect on what didn't go so well, but we don't worry too much about that. We reflect, we move forward, and we just take it one step at a time. And last but not least, fitness, or this fitness lifestyle, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint, okay? So stop trying to be perfect. Stop trying to make every single day a perfect day, because it won't happen. Just taking one step at a time. Fitness is a marathon. It's a journey. It's a forever thing. It's not a short-term thing. And you will see how changing that mindset and reframing the thoughts that you have, it's going to make this journey a little bit easier and a little bit more enjoyable for you. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, please share this with someone that needs this reminder. Share it on your social media and tag me at Daniela Del Carpio. Until next time, and as I always say, don't ever stop believing in yourself. Ciao, ciao.